Hi guys, in this video you will find out about the main tourist attractions in the north of Vietnam. After realizing how amazing this country is and how much I have learned about it, I decided to split what I want to share with you in two videos. Stay tuned and you will discover some pretty interesting facts about the Vietnamese tiny furniture, their scooter mania, Halong Bay, and our beautiful trip to SaPa.
I've got a song and a smile so bright, I'll make you wish you were here tonight. Alright! All of the places we ever go feel familiar, I'm never alone. All of the people that I don't know will be looking me up when they all get home. Let's tell the world all the things we've done, falling in love in the setting sun. I've got a song and a smile so bright, I'll make you wish you were here tonight. And if you tell the world the secrets you never know, it's set in stone. The one can grow. Tell the world, I'm gonna tell the world, tell the world that I got something on my mind. Just tell the world all the things.
Visit Hanoi, the capital city of Vietnam. The first thing you'll notice are the busy, crowded streets where the traffic never stops. Apparently, there are over 50 million scooters, mopeds, and motorcycles teeming through the streets and on the pavements of Vietnam, and they are an attraction in their own right. But even in such a crowded city, people find their peace in the beautiful parks where they start their day early in the morning with a synchronized yoga session. Or what dance that is. I don't know exactly. Some of the most delicious food is served on the tiniest chairs and tables. It is true that older generations of Vietnamese suffered high rates of stunting, a reduction in average height due to malnutrition. But today, the Vietnamese are getting taller, as people now generally have access to a regular supply of high-quality protein that was once a rare luxury and only possible during sacred celebrations. Nowadays, they respect tradition. Additionally, it's cheaper for pop-up restaurants and fast food businesses. Halong Bay. Despite being a popular tourist destination, Halong Bay does live up to the hype and is definitely worth visiting. In Vietnamese, the name Ha Long, literally translated, means descending dragon. According to Asian mythology, the Vietnamese people are said to have descended from dragons themselves. Legend says that long ago, when the country was newly formed, the Vietnamese forefathers had to fight against fierce invaders coming from the north by sea. The gods from the heavens watched on before sending the mother dragon and her children to help the ancient Vietnamese people to defend their country. The dragons descended upon the earth, incinerated the invaders, and spat emerald and jade that upon hitting the land turned into great islands and islets that formed invincible defensive walls that the invaders could not overcome. One of the best things to do in Halong Bay is discovering the place yourself on your own kayak. The emerald water of Hanoi and many hidden tunnels make a perfect setting for kayaking. After visiting Halong Bay, we left Hanoi and went to SaPa. If you have some extra time, you can take a 2-day road trip to SaPa to discover astonishing wild landscapes with huge expanses of rice terraces. Rice seems to be everything for the Vietnamese. Instead of saying I am hungry, they say I want rice. So, if you translate word for word the Vietnamese syntactic expression I'm hungry, it is I want rice. SaPa is 380 kilometers northwest of Hanoi, close to the border with China, but I promise it's worth visiting. The town of SaPa lies at an elevation of about 1,500 meters. The Huanglian Song range of mountains dominates the district, which is at the eastern extremity of the Himalayas. This range includes Vietnam's highest mountain, Phan Xipang, at a height of 3,143 meters above sea level. Go trekking on the mountain path that has been paved and enjoy the colorful spectacle of stalls with handcrafted products. The path through the mountains leads to the village of Cat Cat. The village owns a majestic waterfall, which the French called Cascade. Cascade means waterfall, and the locals, taking after the French, called the settlement Cat Cat. Dive into the mist by visiting the old colonial hill station hidden in the mountains and built by the French in 1909. This village is surreal, as if from a fairy tale. Here you can enjoy a free show offered by the locals. You can take a local trekking guide to discover the isolated tribes that live in the mountains, and you learn that these tribes have their own rules of living. While these villagers sell imported clothes to the tourists, they still wear homespun clothes. The traditional material is hemp. In SaPa, marijuana grows everywhere, and when it's soaked in water, it releases a very dark blue coloring, which they use to dye their clothes. Clothing dyed in indigo is worn on sacred occasions or festivals whose dates are determined by the lunar calendar. Young girls and boys attend these festivals in the hopes of meeting their soulmate. Tourists are most attracted by unique customs of these tribes, including the Hmong people custom marriage of pulling wife. A man can ask his friend to lure a girl he likes to his house, and he keeps her there for 3 days. During these days, if the girl agrees to become his wife, a wedding will be held. However, the girl can happily go home after 3 days if she doesn't like him, especially if she didn't receive a gift from the man before the kidnapping. The Hmong marriage rituals are a mix of the old and the modern. Some marriages are arranged by parents, but in many cases the bride's parents don't learn of the wedding until afterward. The Hmong get married at a young age, ranging from 14 to 19 for girls and from 16 to 21 for boys. Once they get married, oh boy, they have lots of children. There are four main ethnic groups residing in SaPa: the Hmong, Red Dao, Thai, and Jai. Besides that, residents include minor percentages of the Hmong tribe, the Thai tribe, the Hoa tribe, and the Za Pho. On the second day spent in SaPa, we woke up early. We were accompanied by the local guide and tribal women on a 12-kilometer mountain trip. We needed rubber boots, which we rented from SaPa town. The terrain was pretty wet and slippery. Sometimes the fog deprived us of the view, but shrouded everything in mystery. We passed through villages hidden deep in the mountains at amazing heights and learned more about their simple and fascinating lives. Now it's time to put aside this magical fairy tale and return to Hanoi after 2 wonderful days spent among the SaPa tribes. We'll make a part 2 video where we'll continue the trip from Hanoi to Phu Quoc Island and Ho Chi Minh City.